Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Noorie and I post fashion and lifestyle content. So I'm planning on making this a kind of series where I talk about different aspects of influencing, so how much money we make, how you can make money, and just various different things about the world of Instagram and influencing. So if you are interested in that and you do want to see that series, be sure to comment down below what you'd like to see and give this video a thumbs up so I know that you are interested. So I'm just going to be talking about what helped me to grow my Instagram following. So hopefully if you are interested in growing your platform, if you're a business, if you are an influencer, or if you just have a personal page and you want to grow your following, hopefully these tips will help you. Before I get started, I just want to mention today's video sponsor, Later app, which actually works really nicely with this video because Later app is an app that allows you to plan, schedule and analyze your Instagram posts, and I've been using it recently and I've been really enjoying it. I have a discount code if you are interested. It's in the description box, and there's also a link which will allow you to get 1 month of the growth plan for free. I'm just going to go into the desktop app now to show you how I use Later. Okay, so for the Later app, you can either use the desktop website or the mobile app to access your Later account. I'm using the desktop for this example. So as I mentioned previously, you can visually schedule your post and you can click and drag the pictures that you want to schedule onto the feed and see if it fits in. This step is usually trial and error for me, so I play around with a couple of pictures until I get the aesthetics I want. So for example, now I'm going for a green and white theme, so I like some pictures to have bits of green in it and some to be really neutral and white. So once you have done that and you're happy with how your pictures look, you can click save from the preview, and then this will save it as a quick schedule, and then you can go onto your calendar and see your scheduled posts. Once you have your scheduled posts, you can go in and change things like the dates and times that it will be posted, if you want it to notify you or if you want it to just auto publish. You can also pre-populate your captions, hashtags and other details, and I find that this is really helpful for me when I have loads of collaborations going on that have set upload dates, or even when I'm busy working on other bits, I can essentially just set it up and then forget about it. Another feature that I feel like gets overlooked is the analytics, which is actually so useful to see which one of your posts are best performing and most engaging, and then that means you can then strategize your future content around that. And I think it's so important for you to know as well what kind of content your audience are enjoying and consuming, then you can replicate that, and then of course that increases your following. If you are interested, be sure to check out the description box, which will have a link and a discount code to allow you to get 1 month of the growth plan for free. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about things that worked for me to allow me to gain such a huge following in such a short space of time. And the first thing that I'm going to touch on briefly is consistency. Now I think consistency is one of those things that you hear all the time, and it's kind of just like thrown about, yeah, you need to be consistent, but it truly is so important to be consistent. If you think about it, when people follow you, they're following you for content, and if you're only posting about once a month, people are likely to unfollow you and you're not likely to gain any new followers. There's not any new content for people to consume or to discover you on. It's also like a luck thing. If you post 1,000 pictures, out of those 1,000 pictures, one of them is bound to get a lot of traction and a lot of reach, and then therefore followers. So obviously the more you post, the more you're putting yourself out there and the more likely you are to get seen, and it also helps you to retain your following but then also gain new followers. So for me, I post every other day, and it's a balance between consistency and quality, because I personally am not able to post every single day because I feel like then my quality would drop. I take a lot of time to shoot my content. I really plan where I'm shooting it, the kind of outfits I'm going to be shooting, which if I'm using a camera or an iPhone, and I feel like if I was to post content every single day, that would drop. And I also feel like for people on my feed, it can sometimes get too overwhelming if someone is posting every single day. So for me, I feel like it works best when I post every other day, and then people have content to look forward to and you're still consistent because you're posting on a regular basis. And that kind of leads on to the next point, which is quality of content. So of course, if you do want to be consistent, you still want to be posting content that is worthy of being consumed, that you know your followers will enjoy, and you're not posting just for the sake of it. So sometimes I do have weeks where I don't really post any content because I've been too busy, and I could easily get up and just take a mirror selfie in my mirror and just post that, but that's not content that I'd be happy with and be proud to share. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do often share mirror selfies, but I'm just trying to get across the point that I won't post for the sake of it, and I think that's a really important thing to think about. You should post with a purpose and know that your followers will enjoy and engage with what you're posting. It comes through when you post just for the sake of it. People can always tell, and often people won't engage with posts like that. Think about the quality of content, take it with a good camera. You don't need to get a fancy camera, you can literally just use an iPhone. I used my iPhone for the longest time ever for my Instagram pictures, and the quality is really good. I think the key is good lighting, because I cannot shoot any content when the weather is grey outside which it is right now. Quality, it doesn't mean you need to go out and buy the most expensive camera. You can do that eventually if that is the vibe you're going for. I like to have a mix of iPhone pictures and camera pictures, but your phone can actually do so well and can take such good pictures if you have good lighting. Okay, and the next thing for me would be using other platforms to gain a following. So for example, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, things like those. If you just solely stay on Instagram and you don't use any other platforms, you're just relying on people on Instagram to discover you and follow you on there. And I saw this tweet, I think the other day, about someone said, when was the last time you went onto your explore page and found someone and followed them? And I was like, that's so true. I actually don't do that. I don't follow people based on my explore page. I follow people from seeing their posts being shared by other influencers, or from finding them on YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, and then following from there. And this one is actually a big one for me because I gained majority of my following from my YouTube channel. So I had an Instagram for a while, and then during lockdown I created a YouTube channel where I was posting videos, and then one of my videos got a lot of views. It was my first ever Zara haul, and then I saw the followers coming in and I was like, where are they coming from? And I realized they were all coming over from YouTube. I hit 10k followers within 2 months of me being on YouTube, whereas before that my followers was just stagnant. I literally was not growing no matter what I was posting. So I think it's really important to use other platforms. TikTok now is already such a huge platform. There are so many people who have gone viral on TikTok and now their following has just grown. If you are just on Instagram at the moment, I would definitely recommend using TikTok. Even if you're just reposting reels that you've created for your Instagram onto TikTok, you're allowing yourself to be discovered on another platform where people who typically wouldn't find you are now finding you and then can follow you. YouTube is another one. If you are interested in doing YouTube and you're not doing it yet, do it, because again, you're reaching a whole new audience and demographic who can then find you and follow you on Instagram. Yeah, I just think it works really well. Like, a lot of my followers now have come from YouTube and TikTok. I've recently created a TikTok, so follow me on there if you're not already. And often if I post outfit videos on TikTok, I can redirect them to my Instagram, and that's allowing other people to discover me, and then obviously they'll follow me if they do like what I post. And I think that is such an important thing. Make yourself discoverable everywhere as much as you can. Just put yourself on other platforms. Is so important, just to not keep yourself restricted on Instagram. Okay, and that leads me on to the next point, which is more about the content that you are posting. And I touched on this briefly in the previous point about how I discover other influencers. So basically, having shareable content. Make sure your content is useful for others so that it allows it to be shared and saved. So for me, I've discovered so many other girls on Instagram through the girls that I'm following sharing other girls' posts, because obviously on Instagram stories, I feel like that's the thing that people use the most, Instagram stories. And when you're on Instagram stories and you see someone sharing another post, you will click on that if you like it, and then obviously you've discovered someone new. So if you're creating content that other people want to share onto their stories, that is so important in being discovered. So things like creating reels, for example, if you do 10 outfits with one blazer, people love that because that's actually useful content that they will think, oh, I have this blazer, how many others can I create with that? Or reels showing what's new in Zara. They always get shared and they get such high views because it's what people want to see and they actually find it really useful. Carousel posts, if you have outfits and you show different ways of styling it, that again is a post that people are more likely to share and save, and that allows you to get a bigger reach, which means that they're kind of advertising you to their audience. And that also works again with quality. If you're posting good quality content, people like to share that as well, because anything aesthetic is easily shared. So the next point would be utilizing Instagram tools and features that they try and push out. And I think the number one thing now is definitely Instagram Reels. I mean, it's basically on the homepage of Instagram. They have that as like a button purely for Reels. So it's definitely a number one thing for Instagram. And I think also because they're competing with other apps like TikTok, they want to keep the Instagram users on Instagram. So they're going to do whatever is going viral and they will introduce that. So right now it's Reels, and I've seen so many people who have literally started with no followers and they've just been posting Reels and now they're on 30, 40k. So Reels definitely do work, and for me personally, I've seen myself, every time I post a Reel, I'm gaining like 100, 200 followers a day. And when I don't post a Reel, my followers are just very like maybe 10, 20 a day. So proof is in the pudding. I've seen it myself. Reels are just such a useful tool. It's what Instagram want you to be doing. So if you are doing it, they're going to be pushing out your Reels to more people. And because it's video content gets consumed so quickly. People are just scrolling. Instagram will put your video on there, and when people are just scrolling through, if it's an eye-catching reel or if it's something that a person likes, they're likely to click on that reel and follow you. One thing that I've been doing is, because obviously I use TikTok, I can see all the trends on TikTok. TikTok, and generally the trends on TikTok come out first and then you slowly start seeing them on Instagram. So again, if you're not on TikTok, get on TikTok, get all your ideas from TikTok, start posting them on your Instagram, and they will perform really well. So I've done around 20 reels now, and my goal is to try and do 1 reel a week. Ideally it would be 2, but reels actually take up a lot more time than you would think. But set yourself a goal if it is like 1 reel a week or 1 reel every 2 weeks, and honestly you will see, if you're being consistent with your reels, you will see the followers coming through. Every single time I post a reel, I gain followers. So the last point would be engagement. It's all well and good now that you've gained your big following and you have all of your followers, but if you're not engaging with them, replying to their comments, replying to their DMs, those followers will soon go on to other followers and they'll just leave. It's so important to have a good relationship with your followers, but I think it kind of comes naturally. Like, if you're just posting and not talking to your followers, it's kind of weird because it's like you're posting to an empty audience. For me, like, I genuinely enjoy talking to you guys on my DMs, replying to your comments. Like, I love learning more about my followers. It just makes it more real for me. That kind of leads onto your stories, so talking to your followers on your stories, getting them involved with the decisions, like creating polls. When I go shopping and I'm actually not sure about an item, I'll literally put up a poll and then I kind of see, oh, is that something that my followers would like or not? Then it feels like they're involved in the process, which I think is really nice. I love voting on other people's polls when they put it up, and I genuinely do appreciate when my followers interact with that because it actually does help me. Sometimes you can get new followers and they don't know anything about you, so Q&As just allows them to ask questions about you, and you kind of get more personal with your followers. So it's not like you're just posting a picture and that's it. They kind of know you as a person, which I think is so important to have that good relationship. And DMs can sometimes get really overwhelming. My DMs are really bad right now. Like, I have so many that I need to get back to, and I try my most and hardest to get back to them because I appreciate people taking their time out to message me, so I always want to get back to them. And I think that's really important as well because they become your friends. Like, I have so many people in my DMs now who I have consistent like conversations with. When I post things, they reply and I'm always talking to them, and I just love that about Instagram, is that you have this whole little community, and I think that's a really important thing to think about, having your community of people. Them following you is giving you a platform, so you really need to appreciate that and, you know, try and get back to them as much as you can. Okay, so that is a summary of my tips on how I grew my Instagram organically. I hope it was helpful for you guys. Do let me know in the comments down below if you did enjoy this video, and if you do want me to do my series where I talk about money and other aspects of influencing, and let me know in the comments down below what kind of other videos for this series you would want to see. Be sure to check out the link in the description box for Later app if that is something you're interested in. I found it's really useful if you are planning on growing your Instagram and you do want to become more organized. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!